Hey, it's Mary and I'm back. If you've been following along with the SpeigelMom Scraps channel, you would have seen that we have an awesome 80s, 90s themed throwback challenge for this month. I created that cut file there you see on the right, and I'm going to be using these really awesome pictures of my boy who got totally muddy. The vineyards had just been watered, and so the kids took their bikes through the muddy water, and it was righteous. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be using ideas from the 80s, but it's not going to be like 80s colored. So I've got some ephemera pieces that I've pulled out that are definitely reminding me of the 80s. Kind of that retro vibe, more of like early 80s than later 80s. So still more of the 70s colors, muted tones. And of course the Thunderbolts, which are definitely 80s inspired. So again, I'm taking elements from the 80s and making it totally modern. Even the background paper, or sorry, not the background paper, but the paper I used for the cut file is blue and white striped, and it definitely reminds me of 80s wear, 80s attire. So I'm just going to go ahead and place my pictures and glue them down so that they're all faced the right way. And then I'm going to start picking out some papers to back this cut file with. I kind of had a hard time with the cut file because the papers that I wanted to use weren't showing up really good with the cut file, and especially like the tire spokes that I made for, they kind of look like lemons, so you could use this cut file as lemons. I'm going to try to get this up on our blog. I have a hard time creating cut files for Cricut, so if you want it and you have a silhouette, I would be glad to send it to you. So go ahead and leave me a comment if you want that. So here you see me pulling out my paper pads. I'm pulling out the Crate Paper Boys Rule paper pad, and you'll also see a really old paper pad come out in a minute. It was My Mind's Eye, and I don't even know what collection it was from. Cut and Paste Charm, maybe. It was really old, a few years old, but the colors worked great. So I'm just pulling out some papers that I think might coordinate. I'm not going to make you watch everything, but I just kind of wanted to leave in some of that process so you can see, you know if that paper is not going to work, or yes, that paper would work. And then this is where I bring in that Crate Paper, or My Mind's Eye 6x6 paper pad. What was great about the My Mind's Eye paper pad is that it had two different colored bicycle patterns, and this is a bicycle theme. So I figured, why not throw that in? And I also cut out from the Boys Rule paper pad just a piece of that pattern paper that had the bicycle on it. I wanted to make sure that was focused on or highlighted on the layout. So yeah, just pulling out papers and placing them down. And here we go. By the magic of YouTube, I have backed and glued all of my paper and fussy cut it out. And you're welcome for not making you watch it. So these ephemera pieces are from my stash. There are some from Amy Tangerine's, I don't even remember what the name of that line is. Anyway, I have an ephemera pack from Amy Tangerine, and it matches that paper, the circle paper on the top there, the multicolored one. And these are stickers from my stash. All of this is in my stash. I kind of separate out the boy, like 100% boy type themed items, and keep them all together. So if I'm going to do a overly boy themed layout, I'm going to go grab ephemera and stickers from that organized spot. Boy, that was a mouthful. And so that's where the sticker sheet came from. On the left-hand side, underneath the main photo of Isaac splashing through the mud, is a chipboard piece. It's a Dear Lizzie chipboard piece, and it says "Let the Good Times Roll." Again, going with the 80s theme, "Let the Good Times Roll" by the Cars. That was one of my favorite songs from the 80s. I kid you not. I was a huge Cars fan. So I'm going to place all of this down, and then I'm just going to keep layering and embellishing. I'm going to glue down that chipboard piece, and when I get my chipboard pieces, I like to take the sticky backing off so that I can kind of place it around the page and store it in with the rest of my ephemera pieces once I've used up the collection to where I feel like I've had a good run with it as a collection. And then my camera shut off, so I'm just pointing out these little enamel dots that I've placed down in the center of places. Now, this was just to start off with. I end up moving some of them around, some of them I take off, but it was a good starting point for me to stick it all down. I've also fussy cut out more from that pattern, that gray pattern paper from the Boys Rule 6x6 pad to use as little ephemera bits. That one on the left says something like top score, and then I have one of those thunderbolts that I don't end up using. I do end up using that circle in the middle of the other sticker, the orange and blue sticker, and that says, hold on, let me grab my layout. Yeah, that says, he's my little dude. The orange sticker around it says, that's our boy. And then the sticker on the top right says Daredevil. And you'll see all of this in the close-ups. So I pulled out that little typecast pad that said, you rock on it. And I thought, well, maybe I could add it in. And then I tried to lift the paper up, and it was definitely, the cut file was definitely stuck down. So I decided not to go with that. I'm going to journal here. We've been taking daily walks around the property. You love any opportunity to get muddy, and I love your face. His face is like always full of complete expression. Always, always. I need to make a layout of Isaac throughout the years from when he was a baby until now, and all of the expressions of Isaac, because he's the most expressive kid that you will ever meet. My little drama king, that's what we call him. So these are thickers that you can color on. They are a fabric texture on top, and as soon as I saw the fabric texture, it looked like jeans. So I'm going to make these look like acid wash jeans from the 80s. And again, this layout does not turn out looking like it's from the 80s. If you watched the SpeigelMom Scraps channel and watched my last video on Friday, you will have seen a totally 80s layout. And this does not look like an 80s layout, but all of these elements were from the 80s. So I just showed you what sprays that I was using to color these thickers. And the first one was the black shimmers vibes. Let's see. You know, I should have written all this stuff down. So it's Before Dawn, and it does have a glimmer to it. And then the next one was the Jenny B. Blue vibes from Shimmers. And then I used the Navy Heidi Swap Color Shine. So that one definitely has a glitter to it. And you'll see it in the close-ups at the end, how awesome it looked. It had just enough black and just enough blue to really look like it was from the 80s. So you've probably guessed my title by now. It's a big title, and it's going to go all around the page, and this is going to act as my visual triangle because I don't really have clusters in visual triangles. And if you are a kid from the 70s, you will know that this song by Queen, We Will Rock You, was not from the 80s. However, it's definitely from the 80s for me because that is, you know, what we sang when we went to sporting events, and it was big in my house. So to me, this screams 80s because it was from my childhood. So I just went through and I printed off these little labels, I guess you could call it, and added in the extra words to that song. So you've got mud on your face, you big disgrace. Somebody better put you back into your place. So I've added those above the titles, and I didn't want to add more letter stickers because that would have taken forever. So I just typed it up on white cardstock, cut it out, and there you have it. So now I'm going to take my black India ink and make big splatters all around the page. And I really like how that turned out because India ink definitely makes huge splatters, and you'll see me in a minute use my paintbrush to make some smaller splatters, and it totally added to the muddy feel of the layout. And that's all I have for you guys today. Stay tuned at the end because I have something special for you. And if you are new to our channel, welcome. Subscribe if you liked what you saw. Like our video. Leave us a comment down below. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
You're done?
I'm done.
I didn't think you were done.
You like it?
Heck yeah. I especially like them.
Don't touch the black.
I know.
You got mud on your face, you big disgrace. Somebody better put you back into your place.
Put on your face, big disgrace. Somebody put you back into your place.
Singing.
Huh. We will rock it.
Sing it with me.
Dun, 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 dun.